Throughout the whole season, there have been a lot of question marks over Mick Schumacher and his future as his contract ended after the season had come to a close. He had a few big crashes that cost the team a lot of money, and for a team like Haas, it is very hard for them to cover these big unnecessary costs. The team then had to make the judgment on whether they go with an inexperienced and raw talent in Mick Schumacher, who has a load of potential still, or they go for a reliable, a veteran of the sport, but someone you know what you are getting with them in Nico Hulkenberg. Haas had to make sure they have the right driver for the team in the present day who can move the team forward alongside Kevin Magnussen. Who would they go for? What's the case for both Mick and Nico? Let's go and take a quick look, shall we? Well, for Mick, it was clear that at the early part of the season, he was beaten convincingly by Magnussen and had to raise the bar. He did do this at the British and Austrian Grand Prix, where he would score back-to-back points, but he could not get close after this, mainly due to how bad the car had become due to lack of development from the team. In both Monaco and Saudi Arabia, Mick would crash the car quite badly, and on both occasions would pretty much snap the car in half, causing millions that Haas do not have to throw away. Steiner, the team principal in the media, was putting pressure on Mick in the media to stop having these big crashes as they could not afford it. To be fair to Mick, in the second half of the season, he did not have any crashes, but it seemed like Haas had made up their mind, even if Mick beat Kevin in the races over the season, Nico would be the only option who would be viable for Haas for 2023, and on occasions has stepped in for both Racing Point, or as it is now known, Aston Martin. But of course for Nico, he has been in and around the sport for what seems like decades, but he's consistent, and you know what you're getting with Hulkenberg. Even though through his whole career he's never got a podium, but we'll get to that later. He is still a driver who will get you into the points when the car performance is there. However, the German is 35 years old and is clearly heading towards the end of his career, unless he wants to do what Fernando Alonso is doing and drive all the way past his 40s. Well, as you've probably seen by the title, but also all over the media, Haas will go and pick Nico Hulkenberg to drive alongside Kevin Magnussen in 2023, leaving Mick Schumacher to not have a race seat in 2023. However, this move was met with a lot of criticism. But why exactly is this? Well, to put it bluntly, people believe that Mick has been treated unfairly, and Haas going with this appointment and is not going to take them forward at all. By having a driver paired with a combined age of 75, it shows how clearly they are just settling for being a midfield team for the whole time that Haas are in Formula 1. Haas, for many years, had an experienced lineup of Romain Grosjean and Kevin Magnussen, as they wanted to have a steady few years of fighting in and around the midfield, and it worked well for them until 2020, when both drivers performed poorly, but the car did not help to say the least. Then, for 2021, Haas would make a pretty bold position to replace both Grosjean and Magnussen for two rookies in Nikita Mazepin and Mick Schumacher, and the 2021 car was by far one of the worst we have seen on the grid. But clearly, Haas did not like having two rookies in the team, as it was costing them with a lot of the crashes they were having. Now, the team would have to depart with Mazepin due to the conflict in Ukraine, so they turned back to Kevin Magnussen, and he would start the 2022 season in style. But the main question really is, what did Mick Schumacher do to warrant not having a seat and Hulkenberg coming in? Well, many people are still scratching their heads about why on earth did Haas make this decision. There have been several rumours that behind the scenes that it was being very feisty between Steiner and Mick, which has made their relationship break down, and Steiner not wanting to work with Mick in 2023. However, to go with Nico Hulkenberg to go alongside Kevin Magnussen when they clearly do not like each other is also very strange to put together. We've all seen the famous words in the media pen many years ago. Haas, of course, needs to have both drivers not crashing into each other. With Kevin and Mick, this never happened and their relationship was solid. But this might not be the case between Hulkenberg and Magnussen. So what are Haas doing? For many fans, it just seems like Haas have no ambitions to be a serious team, and they are always going to be seen as a joke in some aspect because of the decisions that they make on the track, but also off the track. If they have some ambition, they should take a risk and keep Schumacher, as he clearly has the talent to be a top driver, as it was shown in his junior career. It just seems very boring for Haas to go with two old veterans who have no real room to improve. What do you think of the driver lineup for Haas? Is Hulkenberg the right man for the job, or should they have stayed with Mick? Let us know in the comments below. What is the potential for Haas in 2023? Well, as we saw in 2022 with the new regulations, it was a brilliant start getting a P5 in Bahrain, and the car just got worse and worse as the season progressed, as others developed their car and Haas just stayed the same. Well, in 2023, the team now have a title sponsor, which will allow them to get closer to the cost cap and give them more funds to put in the development of the car throughout the whole year. Haas were one of the first teams to announce that they were going to put all their focus on the 2023 car and forget all about 2022 pretty much. This did work wonders with them not developing the 2021 car at all and put all the focus into new regulations in 2022. But in 2023, they hope to make a further step forward to get higher up in the midfield, with them just finishing in P8 in the Constructors. Now, it is obvious that this is a huge jump from having no points in 2021. They had one of the best midfield cars at the start of the season, and if they kept up with the development, they could have easily finished in P6 or even P5 in the Constructors' standings. Haas really do hope that Hulkenberg can come in and do even better than Mick, or they will look like idiots, as they have took a big gamble on him working. It's hard to determine where Haas will finish in 2023, but they have to make sure they either finish in P8 or higher and do not fall to the back of the grid. Where do you think Haas will finish in 2023? Will Hulkenberg outperform Magnussen? We'll have to see. Overall, it's pretty fair to say that the return of Nico Hulkenberg has been met with mixed reactions. But for Haas, they hope he brings in consistent points, scoring alongside Magnussen, and has no big crashes like Mick did. Haas know that this may not have been a popular decision, as they would lose a lot of fans due to not only the treatment of Mick, but also how popular he is amongst the fans. All we have to do is wait for the lights to go out in Bahrain in March in 2023, and then we will see if Haas have made the right step forward in approaching Hulkenberg was the right choice. What do you think is next for Mick Schumacher? Will Hulkenberg be Steiner's man for the job, or will he be a big flop and fail massively? That is time to tell. Thank you very much for watching this video, and make sure to like and subscribe for even more awesome Formula 1 content.